Good morning or good afternoon, depends on when you're watching it. Welcome to one of Mrs. Randall's famous videos. Today we're going to be talking about VE Day, and we're going to be doing a bit of VE Day craft. But first of all, I'm going to share a few little facts about what VE Day is. Now, some of you may already know a lot about VE Day, and it would be fantastic if you went onto your class Padlet, and I sent your mums and dads an email at the beginning of this week on how they can get onto your class Padlet. And your Padlets are a way you can talk to your classmates and talk to your teachers, so make sure you check those out. So on your Padlets, why not share how much you know about VE Day and what you plan to do as a family to celebrate VE Day next Friday. So VE Day stands for Victory in Europe Day. And VE Day first began on the 7th of May at 2:41 p.m. 1945. And VE Day was the day that the British and the Allied armies defeated Germany and Adolf Hitler in World War II. And it was the day that the war officially ended. And we tend to celebrate it on the 8th of May, Friday the 8th of May, which is next Friday. So what I'm going to show you to do today is how to make some VE Day bunting that you can display in your windows or at home. And all the children in childcare on Friday, next Friday, will be having a little VE Day tea party. And Mrs. Wild is going to be sending out an email to your families to let you know how you can join us and take part in a VE Day celebration. Equipment-wise, you don't need that much for your bunting. You'll need some A4 paper, plain on one side it would be good, but it can be scrap paper. A ruler, black biro or black felt pen. I can't find my black felt pen, so I'm using a biro. Pencil, blue felt tip, red felt tip, sellotape, pair of scissors, and some old wool or string that you can use to string up your bunting. So not very many bits, and most of this stuff you can find around the house somewhere. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is draw a 10cm straight line on your paper. Now, I've turned my paper landscape. So this is portrait, this is landscape. So I've turned it landscape because I can get more pieces of bunting out of one piece of paper. And you only need to draw one triangle bunting, and then you can use that as a template for all your others. So turn your paper landscape. Then, using your ruler, draw a straight line 10 centimetres wide. All right? So straight line 10 centimetres wide, and I'll show you the line that I've drawn. So I've drawn a line 10 centimetres wide. Okay? That's all you need to do. Very, very easy. Step 1. Step 2 is a little bit more tricky, and I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see how to do step 2. Okay, so once you've drawn your 10cm line up the top of your page, and you can see I've not done it bang smack in the middle, I've done it over to one side because I'm going to use as much of this paper as I possibly can. You need to get your ruler, so that top line is 10 centimetres wide, remember. Now, my two diagonal lines need to be 12 centimetres, but you need to get them sort of right so they join at a point, and it's quite tricky. So what I tend to do is measure 12 centimetres on one side, and do a little dot with my pencil. And this is just to help guide my other side when I do my 12 centimetres the other side. So if that's 12 centimetres, then I've done a little dot. Now I'm going to turn my ruler over, and I'm going to measure 12 centimetres this side and try and match it up with that dot there. And if it doesn't match, I may just need to wiggle my ruler back and forth and do another dot, and then do the same the other side until you get the dot to sort of match up. Now, it doesn't have to be particularly accurate because no one's going to get a ruler out and measure your bunting, so don't worry. And then draw in 2 straight lines. My line was wobbly then. Straight lines, both 12 centimetres long. And then you get a triangular shape ready for your bunting. And once you've got your triangular shape, you can cut it out and then use this as a template and use up as much of your paper as possible. So I've cut out my bunting triangle, and I'm going to use this piece as a template to cut out all the others. So on this same piece of paper, I'm actually going to flip the bunting around. I cut it that way, so I'm going to flip it around. And I'm going to use this cut edge to save me cutting too much. So I'm going to line it up with my cut edge. And I'm going to use a pencil to just draw around my template and then cut out the next one. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I should be able to get 7 bits of bunting out of one piece of paper if you do it very carefully. So I'll just quickly show you how to draw around your template. So I'm going to line that up with that cut edge, nice and straight. And then using my pencil, I'm just going to draw around my template. Be careful because it is paper and the template will move unless you use cardboard. So can you see I've now got another piece of bunting there. And then with this one, I'm going to flip it over, use that straight edge and draw around it again. Once you've got your bunting cut out, we need to draw the cross in the middle for the Union Jack. So easy way to do this is to fold your bunting in half. So line up the top edge and the points. Make sure it's nice and straight. It's a bit fiddly, but you know, persevere, you'll get there. So just fold that in half. Now don't fold it in half too much, you just want to make a crease down the middle. So what I'm going to do is, using my ruler, I'm going to use the middle line as a guide, and I'm going to draw 1 centimetre with the line in the middle. So when you put your ruler on your bunting, where you folded your line, you should have that at the halfway point between 0 and 1. And do little marks all the way down, and this will make sure your line is straight. So I'm just going to quickly do that. So I'm just going to do little dashes, and I'm probably going to do about 3. This will make sure your line is perfectly straight. Okay, you see that? And then I'm going to join the dashes up using my ruler. Got a bit of masking tape on my ruler, get this off. Just going to join that up all the way down. All the way down. So there's my first line of my cross. Then to get the one going across, I'm just going to fold the tip up to the top edge and just make a little fold there. Now this line is going to be your bottom line. So I'm just going to draw that bottom line in. So I'm going to just use my ruler. That line should be straight if you folded it carefully. I'm just drawing the bottom line. Then I'm going to measure 1 centimetre up from that line. So using your ruler again, good practice for your measuring skills here. Measure 1 centimetre and do a little dash that side. Measure 1 centimetre and do a little dash that side. And then join your line up, and you'll end up with a cross on your paper. Now we need to start marking in the white bits and the other shapes on our cross. So I'll show you how to do that in the next video. Okay, so we're going to do our blue, red and white bits. So either side of this cross that you've just done, you want to keep a bit of white around the whole cross. So what I'm going to do is, using my ruler, I'm just going to measure 1/2 centimetre, like we did before, you doing little dots, just around my cross, so either side of my cross. I'll show you a close-up now. Can you see? I've done dots either side of my cross, and I'm just going to join them up. And this will save me a bit of white, and I'm going to do the same on the bottom cross, the line going across. I'll show you that in a second. And don't forget, you can pause this video anytime, which will help you follow these instructions, because it's quite a tricky thing to draw, the Union Jack. So can you see I've done a line around my whole cross, and there's some lines I'm just going to rub out to make it look a little bit better, because I need to do some lines going down these sides as well. So I'm just going to mark those in, but you can see I've done 1/2 centimetre either side of my cross so far. I just need to do these bottom bits. And this is really good to practice your ruler skills and measuring skills. Lots of maths involved in this. I'm just going to, can you see I've got lines here. I'm just going to rub these lines, these two little lines out. Just rub those out. So I've got my cross, which is going to be in red, and then this bit going around my cross we're going to leave white. So now we need to get some blue bits going diagonally across here. So what I'm going to do, along my top line, I'm going to measure 1 centimetre and put a little mark, and 1 centimetre and put a little mark. You can see I've already done it on this one. So I'm going to measure 1 centimetre and put a little mark, 1 centimetre and put a little mark. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw from that mark, I'm going to draw a line right down to where the white will start. So let me do that in for you now. Get that line back in. Okay. So I've measured 1 centimetre and drawn a line to the join, same on that side. Now this area is going to be blue, all right? This is going to be blue. Now I'm going to do 1/2 centimetre line and draw it straight down to join the side, a bit like what you did here. Okay, I'm going to do that. So measure 1/2 centimetre, do a little mark, and then join it to the line. So I've marked my 1/2 centimetre at the top, and now I'm going to join it. Keep my ruler straight, so I get a nice straight line. I'm going to join it to the white bit. Okay, can you see that? My Union Jack is starting to take form. So this is going to be blue. This is going to be white, and this bit is going to be red, but we need to cut off a little bit. So I'm going to measure 1 centimetre from this line out and this line out. So I'm measuring 1 centimetre and doing a little dash. So I've measured 1 centimetre from this point, this line to there, and made a little dash. Measured 1 centimetre from this line to there and made a little dash, and then I'm going to join it up, okay, to this line here. Try and make them the same sort of size both side, otherwise you'll end up with a bit of a wonky looking Union Jack, but you know, wonky Union Jacks are alright. So there's my top bit. Now I'm just going to colour it in so you know what it looks like. Okay, so this bit is blue, this is white, this bit is red, and this bit is white. Now you can make the white bit a bit bigger if you want to. I might just make mine a little bit bigger, I think, because the red lines are not that thick on a Union Jack. And I'll show you what to do with the bottom part in a second. I'm just going to colour it in and then I'll show you what it's like coloured in. Okay, so I've coloured my Union Jack in. And as you can see, I made a little bit of a mistake there, but that's fine, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and cover it over with a little bit of paper in a minute. So I've coloured in my blue, I've left that bit white, red, white, and you can see I made my white bits bigger, and I'm going to rub out these lines in a minute. All right, so now we need to tackle the bottom part. So we're not going to do any measuring on the bottom part because it's very small. All I'm going to do is draw a blue triangle and a little red triangle, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a second, and we need to repeat it this side, but I'm going to do it freehand. I'm not going to do it with a ruler. So I'm going to do the blue triangle first. So I'm going to leave a bit of a space because I need my red triangle to come in here, and I'm just going to do a very quick blue triangle. Not too big, like that. Okay, and I'm going to try and do the same symmetry the other side. So I've done a similar one the other side, not exactly the same, but you know, as good as I can get it. Now the next one, I need my red felt tip, and I'm going to do a smaller red triangle underneath it. Make sure you leave a white space in between the blue and the red triangle. And then to really make it pop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around in black pen or black felt tip all the shapes I've done. So I'm going to draw around this red shape in black. I'm going to draw down all my pencil lines in black. So I'm going to just do that, and when it's finished I'll show you. Right, so what I've done is I've gone around with black pen around all my shapes. I haven't fixed my little mistake yet, but I will do that in a second, but it looks pretty effective. Now Union Jacks are really quite difficult to do, so I'm only going to do maybe 2 or 3 of these in my bunting, but I have decorated my other triangles of bunting with other things. So I've done a poppy, and this is very easy to do, and I'll show you quickly how to do that because it's so easy. All you do with a red pen is begin to draw a figure of 8. So you can do 2 circles like this and do a smaller one in the middle and then colour it in and do a black circle in the centre. So colour that in, do a black centre, and then you can do a nice leaf with a green. Or if you want to do it without drawing in the middle, you can draw a large number 3 and not join the middle. So do a 3 one way and do a 3 backwards the other way, and then you can draw a circle in the middle and then colour it in. That's a very easy way to do a nice Remembrance Day poppy. I've also done another one for my bunting. So this is what my bunting is going to look like so far. I've also done a VE piece of bunting, and of course it's a special 75th VE Day, so 75 years since VE Day. And then I'm going to put them all together. Now to attach your bunting to string, all you need to do is make a little fold at the top and use sellotape to just stick that down. Okay, very easy. Do a little fold at the top. Use a bit of sellotape to stick it down. Don't stick the whole lot down because you need to be able to put your string through. Or alternatively, you can get your string, put your string in, make sure you leave a little bit so you can hang it up. Put your string in, then fold it down and then put a bit of sticky tape on there. And then do the same for the next one. Fold it over and stick it down, and then you get a nice line of bunting. I'll show you my small line of bunting once I've made it. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 bits of bunting so far. I've got loads more to do, but I've attached them all to my string. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. So I've got VE Day, I've got a Union Jack, I've got a poppy, and I thought I'm going to do a rainbow for the symbol of hope. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to think of lots of different designs I can put in there. You could do a soldier, you could do the poppy, you could think of other symbols that represent VE Day or World War II, or you could do things that represent what we're going through at the moment and give little messages of hope. Maybe it would be nice to thank the NHS and thank our key workers on your bunting as well. And once you're finished, display them in your window, take a picture, and make sure you email them to us. And don't forget to read Colette's email, Mrs. Wild's email, about how you can join us for your VE Day celebration. Good luck everybody, and don't forget to visit your school class page Padlet. Thank you, and bye-bye, have fun!